Hey everybody, this is Matt from endsickness.org. Today I'm going to talk about how you try to fill the internal void often with external things, and it leaves you internally in a place where you still feel empty. Okay, first let me say I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. This is based on my personal experience. This is for informational and educational purposes only. So what do I mean? What do I mean? When you have an internal void, often there's things that you don't feel good about within yourself, whether your lack of control, your inability to, be successful in life, your inability to do the things that you tell yourself you're going to do, your inability to maintain your emotional state, whatever it is that you beat yourself up about. The problem is most people, what they do is instead of focusing on resolving these conversations internally, they focus on external things to distract themselves from this conversation. So for example, they may go out and try to find a relationship with a woman that, makes them forget about the problems that are going on internally. They may find a job and chase success and try to become great at their job, and this job will solve everything. If they become good at this job, then they'll feel good about themselves. They may go out and they distract themselves through, over-exercising, through buying tons of things, through chasing money, through chasing fame, all these things, believing that these things are going to make them feel resolved, resolve that internal conflict, deal with that inner conversation. Well, the reality is most of these things don't work in the end, okay? What they do is they just distract you from the inner conversation, and eventually you look back on it and say, hey, wow, these things they lose their fun, they lose their level of attraction, they lose their appeal over time, and you're still left with that inner conversation, those challenging thoughts. And unless you deal with them head on, you're just going to keep distracting yourself all your life by trying to focus on external things for happiness. Oh, I want the next relationship. I want the next car. I want the next possession. I want the next pat on the back from my mentor. I want all these external things to fill what's going on internally inside me. This is a trap. This is a trap. If you want to get over these things, you have to address the internal dialogue. What is it that's really making you feel bad about yourself? What are the things that hold you back in your life that you're unable to do? You write these things down on a daily basis. What are the things that are challenging in your mind? What are the thoughts that you can't seem to overcome? You write them down. You contact someone like me. We work through these thoughts. We restructure the storylines around these things, because guess what? The reason that you're feeling the way you're feeling is not because of what's happening. It's because the way you're reacting to it. It's because your storyline that you have in place. It's because your belief systems you have in place about yourself in relation to reality. That is why you're still suffering. So if you want to be able to get over the suffering, you want to be able to heal internally, finally, once and for all, it's not going to be from distracting yourself with external things, trying to get the new car, the more money, the bigger house, those things. They're only going to lead you to a place where you have temporary relief from that void, and then it's going to come back. That internal emptiness is going to come back because you're not going to be able to fill it with external things. You're only going to be able to fill it with your own beliefs and your own, their own happiness within yourself. And you're only going to be able to do that by achieving things in your own mind that challenged you in the past, by overcoming things, by not being restrained by these past beliefs, this past trauma, creating a new vision of yourself, a new life, something that makes you happy and fully content. That's what closes the void. That's what clears things up internally, not these external things. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. This is something that I dealt with all my life. I was always trying to get, more money, or find the right woman, or get the right car, or get more possessions or whatever to make me feel better. But I realized they all just left me feeling empty in the end. Maybe they made me feel better temporarily, but it didn't help to stop the inner conversation that was chasing me all my life. And unless I was willing to deal with it head on, write down my emotions, write down my thoughts, deconstruct them, realize that these things are based on past trauma, past beliefs, not current situations in current facts. Unless I was willing to do that, then I kept stuck in my own trauma loop, trying to distract myself from everything instead of face it head on. And this led me to not have a high quality of life. It led me to constantly blame others for everything, except for, instead of accepting my role in everything. And that's what leads you to growth. Realizing there's no one else to blame for anybody in your own happiness besides yourself. And it's up to you to make the difference. So thanks for watching, everybody. Go to my website, endsickness.org. I got hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there teaching how you heal yourself. Thanks for watching.